Our Rome mayoral debate continuing right now with Joe Fusco, Lou Daniello, and Michael Brown. And, guys, that was a little bit of a heated topic there with regard to the Kennedy Arena. We had a texter suggesting that why not two hockey arenas? I think you guys kind of all in agreement on that.
Show us the money.
Absolutely.
It needs to be, that's the biggest. That's the biggest hurdle we have to get over is financing, and that's one of the problems that we're having. But we're putting together a project that we think can pay for itself, can draw in funding and associated monies from the private sector. We're definitely not looking to put this on the taxpayers' back because, personally, I don't believe that. And everything I've done in the last 3.5 years has tried to take the onus off the taxpayer.
All right, that's Mayor Joe Fusco, and then you have Michael and Lou on the other side of that topic.
Yeah, we agree. We agree that this is something that the community wants and particularly might need. But because we live in a winter city, I mean, half of our year people are hiding indoors, and we do need these things for our kids. But we don't want to tax the taxpayers.
All right, Michael, we'll start with you on the next question. Michael Brown, one of the mayoral candidates for the Rome race there. The Relax Inn, formerly the Quality Inn, has been a hub of some bad activity recently. What about public safety as it relates to that particular building and plans to improve that area?
Oh, that area has been a thorn in the side of public safety for years, and I think that the drug problem in Rome is pervasive. I think it's always undercurrent, and it tends to be in a few particular spots. I think that we need to really give our police the opportunity to be on foot in those areas and be ever present. I think that the presence of the police in those areas is the thing that's going to dissuade these things from happening.
All right, Lou Daniello, your feelings on this particular topic? Is that a practical solution?
Yeah, most definitely. But it is an individual problem as well. Folks need to have their eyes and ears open and take note, report things. In the years that the nuisance law has been on the books in the city, and I guess this Relax Inn is going to be going before the nuisance board, or is that something that's we're going to wait to see, I guess. But there's only been one time that the nuisance law did not result in the closure of a property, and you're looking at the guy who was instrumental in that. Actually, my wife kept accurate records. We involved the police every time that there was an activity on one of our properties. There was a fellow that was living with a young lady there, and they had a problem with a lot of people walking in and out at all hours of the day and night, and we kept track of it. We contacted the police, made notes. We did all the due diligence that we needed. He was arrested twice, the gentleman there. We were brought before the nuisance board, and when we had testimony from police, and then at the time, 4th Ward Councilor Joe Fusco came that day, we had all of our ducks lined up, and it's a matter of diligence. It's a matter of keeping your eye on things. The police in this town are absolutely the best trained, best equipped, and the best souls to do the job. We need to give them as much help as we can, and it starts with the individuals.
All right, that's Lou Daniello. Over to you, Joe Fusco, on this topic.
Absolutely right, Lou. As a counselor, I always advocated the property owners, and I actually started the Rome Area Property Owners Association. And one of the things that we explained to them when the nuisance law came about, do your homework, do your research. If you're starting to have problems with tenants, get in touch with the police, get in touch with the Corp Council, let them know, work with them, and the city's not going to come down on you. We tried to do that with Relax Inn. We brought them in. We had a very good conversation with them, but we laid the law down and said, look, you've got to police yourself, and if you don't, we're going to do it for you. Our guys are doing a fantastic job. With regard to foot patrols, that's exactly why Chief Beach instituted the Community Impact Unit a couple of years ago. It has done phenomenal things in the community because the guys are on the foot. They're talking with people. People are much more comfortable talking with them, sharing information. They have been a strong asset to in our fight against crime and especially drugs. And just the recent arrests lately show that our guys are on top of the situation, and gals. They're on top of the situation. They're doing a fantastic job.
All right, Mayor Fusco, we'll start with you on the next question. A lot of improvements, of course, already under works and finished at the Erie Canal there in the area. What's the future for that area, and how do you bring some of the improvements and ideas there to bear on other projects of improvement in Rome?
Well, the big thing you do is that when you go after grant money, you use it. You don't let it sit on the shelf for 6, 7, 8 years and until the state comes and tells you, look, either use it or you're going to lose it. And you go after projects that are doable. You know, we went after money for the terminal building because we knew we could do it. And we got the money, got the grant money, finished the project. The exterior's done. Now the state is coming. Look, they're looking at the park across the way. We've got the pavilion structure up. We got the boat launch in, the fishing dock. All the blacktop is in. We need more money to finish that project. That project was gone after for a grant that only amounted to half of what it was going to take to build it. So that, which is another reason why it never got built. So I broke it down into phases, used the money that we had, got the phases done. We had our Oktoberfest a couple weekends ago. The director of the Canal Corporation, Brian Stratton, came in. He spent almost the whole day with us. I don't think he left till 6 o'clock. He was having a great time. He looked over what we're doing. He sees that we're actually getting things done with the money that the state put up. Now he's asking me, how much do you need to finish these projects? And that's the position I want to be in, and that's where we're looking to grow that park even more.
All right, Joe Fusco, now to Michael Brown in the Rome mayoral debate about the future for the Erie Canal and other improvements in the area. What do you see?
People are very excited to see the new trails. People are very excited to use the boat launches. It's really exciting to see people down there. But the problem is we don't have a connection to the city. It's sort of like building something in a vacuum. What we want to do is we want to attract the people in the summer that are on the canal. We want them to come into the city. We want to give them reasons to come into the city, and then we want to attract them and pull them in so that the small business owners in the city can actually take advantage of their dollars. What's happened is we're developing the waterfront, but we're not developing the connection. There's a vast wasteland. Our DPW and a giant parking lot are sitting between our small businesses and these potential customers. And what we've got to do is we've got to figure out what's going to happen to that stretch of land in there. It's got to be developed. It's got to be inviting. It's got to say, come into Rome and spend your money. Come into Rome and hang out for an afternoon. Come into Rome and have a bite to eat. And heck, stay in town. Enjoy yourself.
All right, thanks. That's Michael Brown, and over to Lou Daniello for improvements along the Erie Canal and other of its type for Rome.
Anytime you can do something to spruce up your city and to spruce up your image is a wonder for any municipality. We are unique in that we have a very long stretch of canal that borders the city proper. I believe that there are so many things that we can be doing that need to be pushed forward. I think that the development of the boat launch area is wonderful. It needs to go further. More private investors, more people willing to roll up their sleeves and do something like, one of the most disheartening things about this whole canal thing is I was made privy by a friend of mine who navigates along the canal quite often, a gentleman that I have a business connection with. He showed me the navigation guide put forward by the state, and it may have been an old one. I don't know. He pointed out to me in a page that he ripped out of it, saying, for amenities, go past Rome. To me, that made my heart sink. They made my heart sink thinking that there was a state publication telling us to go past Rome. Why? Because there was nothing. So I think developing it is very important. I think there's so many other development opportunities in Rome. On the north end of town, the Andro Corporation has some exciting plans that I'm absolutely ecstatic about. I think in conjunction with all of our projects together, we are going to start seeing a new, vital Rome.
All right, very good. By the way, we are on the Talk of the Town at 100.7 FM WUTQ with our Rome mayoral debate. We have 3 of the 4 candidates in studio with us, Michael Brown, Joe Fusco, and Lou Daniello. Of course, Joe, the sitting mayor, and one of the other candidates, Jackie Izzo, not able to join us this morning. We'll start with you, Lou, on the final question. Why should people vote for you over the other candidates?
Well, I bring to the table years of experience. I have been a member of the school board, which is a larger entity than the city, $110 million budget with 1,300 employees. I've sat on the budget committee. I was chairman of the finance committee and a seated member, buildings and grounds, and personnel. I bring to the table 38 years of management experience and a great love for the city that I don't think that these gentlemen don't have. Don't get me wrong there by any stretch of the imagination. But I know that there is a plan, that our plan, my plan for the city of Rome is to bring everybody to the table, to include all voices, to make everyone feel as they have a part in the plan, to help all citizens with all phases of all the issues that are facing us. We are a strong city, but we are a shrinking city, and we need to keep going forward, moving forward, getting folks into our city, getting folks into, taking realistic approaches to how we are going to manage our future.
All right, that's Lou Daniello. Over to Mayor Fusco. Why should folks reelect you?
Well, overall,
hold on a second. I had you there. There you are.
As we, as we look at the recent budget that we've put out, it represents this administration's ongoing commitment to stabilize our tax base, but in doing so, not at the expense of neglecting our buildings, our vehicle fleets, our parks, and overall infrastructure. We have an obligation to maintain those facilities, and we're doing it. And we're doing it and holding down a $42 million budget. I've actually been working with the unions in contract negotiations. We pulled a 5-year contract that was unheard of. When I first took over, there had been no negotiations going on previous to that, and I got everybody to the table, and everybody knows the situation where we are in Rome, and they all came together, and we worked together to come up with a 5-year pact. First 2 years, zeros. Never been done before, because we've got people working together to make this community stronger and more viable. We have got new businesses coming in left and right. We've got all kinds of construction projects, 2 new station and gas station convenience stores. We've got a new Chris Tech Wire. They were looking to go on the West Coast. They stayed. We've got additions to American Alloy. We got 2 new McDonald's that are growing. We have got construction projects, and people are moving into the area with our new housing projects. And our housing study showed that we have to build a multitude of different types of housing. Similar to what Mike says, downtown development, we've got a couple of developers that want to put in some loft apartments in some of our old school buildings and some of our buildings downtown. We are open to all of that. We have got several investors that want to change the face of the entire city. And that's the beauty of Rome. 72 square miles, 76 square miles technically. And anybody that wants to live here can live in any type of atmosphere they want to.
All right. Thank you, Joe Fusco. And now Michael Brown, the floor is yours as to why folks should vote for you.
I've got the experience living in a lot of different places. I've been in Rome for 11 years. I've watched. I've worked. I worked with the Main Street organization. I see what Rome needs based on my experiences outside of Rome. And I'm telling you, Rome needs to prepare for these new demographics. Rome needs to prepare for young people. Rome needs to make itself a place where young people want to be, where young people want to stay. We lose too many of our brightest and best to other communities because we don't have the amenities that are going to keep them here. We got to figure out, folks, how to bring the young professionals into Rome that are going to be coming here for the nanotech jobs, for the drone jobs, and that is going to help us keep our youth here. We need to figure out the housing, the amenities. How do these kids want to live? They want to live in apartments. They don't necessarily want to have cars. We got to figure out our transportation. We got to rebuild our urban core. We've got to take advantage of technology because technology is the lure to this demographic.
All right. And finally, a Siena study said that apparently more dog lovers than cat lovers in the state of New York. Lou, are you a dog lover or a cat lover? You have a preference?
Well, my rescue dog, Moose, has been on the campaign trail with me, and I'm clearly a dog, although I do have a grand cat, Cal Naughty, who is a wonderful addition to the family.
All right.
Last year he was reveling in his gift for me of a can of anchovies. I absolutely love them.
You can have them.
Yeah.
Michael Brown, cats or dogs? What do you prefer?
Both. I've got a border collie named Oreo, and she has a whole bevy of pussy cats that she absolutely loves to play with. So I'm kind of on hand with both. I grew up on a farm.
On the fence. And Joe Fusco, you?
I've got a dog. His name is Bullet. He is a mixed shepherd, very energetic little guy, great companion. Animals are a big part of our community because we have so many rural activities and rural places to go. And just the other day with what the folks from Laney's Army have done for the folks out in Chadwick's with those rescue dogs, we've got some great people in this community.